Hi, my name is Gabby, and for my dish I am making spaghetti con tonno, pomodorini, e pistacchio. I chose this dish because I definitely wanted to find something that I've never really made before and stuff I usually wouldn't pick up at the grocery store. So especially things like tuna steak and sun-dried tomatoes are kind of the things that caught my eye initially. I love to cook and bake and really anything in the kitchen, so I was really excited when I saw this project. My dad owns a restaurant back home, and he's had it all while I was growing up, so I pretty much just grew up in a kitchen. So I'm super excited to share my dish with you, and it's definitely one I'll be making again, so I'm really happy I could find it on here. So for my ingredients, I just have spaghetti, tuna steak, garlic, tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, coconut oil, and pistachios. So I started first by just getting some water in a pot, and then I heavily salted it for the pasta. And then I went straight into cutting my tomatoes, just dicing them to prepare them to be sauteed along with my sun-dried tomatoes. I had to do 200 grams of tomatoes and just dice those all up and put them in a pan with the coconut oil and garlic. I got all my ingredients from Aldi, and I actually ended up having to DoorDash the tuna steaks because I could not find them anywhere. This is me putting my coconut oil and the garlic into a pan and just heating that just to kind of get it a little sauteed before I added the tomatoes, and along with my sun-dried tomatoes as well. So I just got those sauteed before I started adding everything else. This took maybe about 5 minutes. This is me adding my seasoning, so I just did salt, a good amount of salt, and I kind of just eyeballed the seasoning. I didn't really measure a ton. I added the pepper, as well as Italian seasoning. Next, I got right into cutting up my tuna steak while that was sauteing on the stove. We just had to dice these, so I pretty much just cut all these up and dice them into cubes to prepare them to be sauteed. I ended up doing about 200 grams of tuna steak as well. And I went ahead and added that to my sauteed tomatoes and just kept mixing that for a little while. And while that was going, I actually crushed up my pistachios to use that as a garnish at the end of the dish. While my water was done boiling, I decided to start adding my pasta. I ended up adding about 400 grams of pasta to this and just kind of let that cook for a little while. So here's my pasta cooking, as well as my sauteed tuna and tomatoes. The recipe called for your pasta to be al dente, meaning still a little firm when you bite into it. So here's me adding more coconut oil and garlic, and then taking the al dente pasta, adding that to the saucepan, and just kind of sauteing that a little more to get it cooked a little further along. I also added some pasta water just to kind of not let the pasta burn too much while it was in the saucepan, and just give it a little nicer coating and make it not so, made sure it didn't get stiff as well. At this point, I decided to also add more seasoning, so I did salt, pepper, and Italian again. And here's me just sauteing the pasta, making sure it was all evenly coated in the coconut oil and garlic. Me assembling my dish, so I just went straight for the pasta once it was cooked all the way through, and then added my sun-dried tomato, tuna garnish on top with my pistachio garnish on top. And I decided to dress up the whole pot because my roommates were home, so I thought it'd be fun to let them try it as well. I was definitely skeptical about the pistachios, but I actually really liked it. This is one of my roommates testing it out. She took a very big bite. But I promise she liked it. She took many, many more bites after, I promise. This is me trying it. This is definitely a dish I would recommend. It was super easy, not time consuming. Thanks so much for watching.